They have championed self-sustainability on Maui. The Neutral Zone is heard live Mondays at 11 a.m. and replayed Saturday at 7 a.m. on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui.
Want to host your own radio talk show? You can. Once every month, KAKU 88.5 FM offers an introduction to radio class at Akaku Plaza at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. This introduction to radio will get your feet wet and show you what you need to do to get started. Interested? Call us at 871-5554 for more information and registration.
Maui's free speech station. KAKU 88.5 FM, Kahului, Maui. The voice of Maui.
The Neutral Zone with me, Jason Schwartz, would like to sincerely thank David Bryan for his support. David was founder and head of school at New Road School in Santa Monica, California, and is the board chair at the Ojai Foundation and on the board for Brave New Films. The Neutral Zone is heard live Mondays at 11 a.m. here on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui, and again on Saturdays at 7 a.m., as well as on TV and on MauiNeutralZone.com. Good morning. This is Jason Schwartz. This is the Neutral Zone. Welcome to our show.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
Our guest is not here as yet, so we will ignore this opening song. Sympathy for the Devil.
I was round when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt.
Oh, they're not singing, that's me.
Made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. But what puzzling you is the nature of my game. I stuck around St. Petersburg when I saw it was a time for a change. Killed the Tsars and his ministers. Anastasia screamed in vain. I rode a tank, held a general's rank when the blitzkrieg raged and the bodies stand. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Oh yeah. What's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah. I watched the Glee while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made. I shouted out who killed the Kennedys when after all it was you and me. Let me introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. And I laid a trap for troubadours who get killed before they reach Bombay. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Oh yeah. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah.
Wow, I played a little more of that today because we had the time. That was a fun song to sing. I was over at I was going to say Maui Community College, University of Hawaii Maui College, and I was taking a class on studio production with Joel Katz, who's a terrific musician and has a studio himself, Seaside Recording Studio. And there was someone in the class that was doing Sympathy for the Devil as the song they wanted to record. And they asked me to sing. I had a lot of fun with that. You know, today's guest, we had a couple of good choices. Jerry Metcalfe, Tiger Metcalfe, I saw him a few weeks ago, and he really wanted to be on. And I have not been able to get in touch with him, and he didn't get back with me. So it looks like he's not here. But knowing that was happening, I reached out to one of our former sponsors, who's still a big sponsor, Richard Dan, who is Combine Alone Cash for Gold down in Wailuku. I think he's here 47 or 48 years in Wailuku, and has seen Wailuku develop in the way it has, or hasn't, if you will, for many years. And I wanted to get his opinions about what's going on right now with that parking structure and potential building, and with all the news about the people angry at what's going on there. I thought to talk to merchants and people who have been in Wailuku and are heavily invested in looking at this solution for many, many years. I lived in Wailuku for 9.5 years, and I also was part of that. In fact, I did a television show about a charrette, a meeting that took place where architects and lawyers and people of all kinds and persuasions got together and talked about it in small groups and put their ideas together. A lot has been looked at over the years, and I think a lot of the things that were planned are involved in the solution that we're seeing that is beginning to develop there. He was another guest. Also, I placed a call to our Mayor Victorino. I know we had a busy week. Last week we had fires, big fires, little fires. They seem to just be generally known as Maui fire. The whole place was ablaze. Highways were closed. We had a thing up here that was supposed to be about the fish pond in Kihei that got canceled last minute. We've had, there's been a lot of burning. Burn. So we're happy, everything. I think almost all of the fires are out. There's still some burning and smoldering going on. I wore my hat this way because I was really doing it for my guest, and also for the last 3 weeks, I have had an opportunity to be a production assistant. That means you're not in the union, so you don't get to touch the cables or touch the camera or touch the lighting. Here at Akaku, when we have a product in production, we become the everything, or we have some people that do come in and help, and we're always looking for more trainees and volunteers. Please know that. But when it comes to a television production, this was a reality show that I'd never seen called Temptation Island. Temptation Island is a show where I don't know if it's 4 or 6 couples that were interviewed, of course, by producers and stuff before. 6 couples that aren't sure whether they want to be with each other forever, but they love each other and they just wanting to test their relationship. What happens is they take the husbands, put them in one house, they put the wives in a different house, and they have double that number of single people of the opposite sex, obviously attractive people, to be a temptation for the men and the women. And then they record those interactions and share them in calculated way. They have bonfires, they call them, with the spouse, and things evolve and the number of people kind of gets boiled down, and then they see if those couples want to stay together or not. So it was an interesting thing. And speaking to the producer, the word producer is very, very easily used. There's an associate producer there. He used to work here, a guy named Matt, who was there, and there are a few people that were there that saw me on TV here over the years. That was nice. But there is a very nice group of people, and they shared with me about how they develop the story and how they shape it as they're going to keep those characters true to honoring themselves, but they let the story still be real in the action that takes place. It's very interesting, and there's a lot of hanky-panky going on, but I guess that's kind of the point. Is the temptation something that some people, that kind of an interaction, I know here on Maui, polyamory and couples that have outside of their marriage and relationships exists, but in this show that wasn't the case. But it was very interesting. I also learned that production assistant is someone who drives people from the hotel to the set and gets an opportunity to, I had an opportunity to really get up close with people that play different roles in the production, and it was a very good education. That was the reason I originally went. Brian Cohn, whom most of you, he was a guest here, but he's the director and writer of Kuleana and Get a Job, and he had a most recent, he's shooting another movie as well. He's the head of the creative media department at the college, and he knew a lady who's the line producer who was hiring staff, and they gave opportunity to students of the college that wanted to, that were part of this program, to have a job. I saw a couple of the people there, but they didn't really last the whole time. This was a standard 12-and-a-half-hour day. That doesn't sound like something that was that appealing, but it seems that in the television industry, 12 with a half hour for lunch is a standard. And it took me a couple of days to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's okay. And it was just a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of education, and I really recommend it. I think that people that are going to the college that are in creative media ought to get hands-on and realize and experience being in the field in production. I know that the people that are there in production tell me, almost without exception, that the schooling doesn't matter. It's the work that you do on a production that gets recognized and matters. I know that as our world is growing, there's post-production things involving computer and enhancing images and creating worlds, and all that stuff, I'm sure, is a whole different part of the industry than what I got to see here over these weeks. And I'm sure there's room wherever those jobs are from. I can tell you that at the college I went to the CareerLink office, and they are heavy in culinary arts and tourism and hotel and very little other work that they try to hook up the kids at the college to. Once in a while they get a broadcaster opportunity, they said, that comes from one of the major stations in Oahu. But I thought it was really important, and I still do, that we develop more work here. So I'd like to see more people step up and develop a stronger work ethic to learn an industry that wants to come here. They even hired people for camera and other more specific positions, but had to bring people in from the mainland because they could not get people here to stay on those positions. So I'm hoping that you out there in our audience that are interested in this kind of keep checking it out, not only through Akaku, but through the college. And if you have any ideas or anyone you know that is in that industry, you're welcome to call me, 808-874-5900, or email teamaloha@icloud.com, or get in touch right here at Akaku or KAKU Radio or any of us, because the way we can develop an industry is have people that can fill those jobs. I had tried to put a studio together here, a sound stage for Joe Rossi, Maui Babe Lotion, had a building there on his property, and the one that was then that I met, actually the location manager and equipment guys, Paul Eamon and Glenn Beatles, who were involved in this television show, Temptation Island, in that they were doing their role. It was great to see them, but again, more available people here on our island. There were people from Oahu and Big Island that came over. One person I saw from Kauai, a wonderful fire guy from here who was the head medic, Kapala, was here. It was really such a nice group of people. It was very warm. I felt a lot of aloha from them. Some of them shared that they'd like to feel more aloha from some of the people that serve them there on the west side. I think it might be a gentle note to the hotels that they need to, we know that the Kaanapali Beach Hotel is, quote, considered more famous for its aloha spirit that has gotten recognized even when George Bush the First was our president. And I thought it was interesting. Some of the restaurants were crowded and weren't as accommodating as some of these people might like. But we can always get better, and I know that everyone had a great time. It was so dry up there. It was in Laniapoko that it was shot, in 2 houses up there. And I can surely see why you wouldn't want to have a homeless community in a place with so little water and one road going in and out. So it was a really great experience, and one I recommend to everyone. What Jerry Metcalfe, Tiger, many of you remember, ran a couple times for county council out of the South Maui seat, and he's gone through all kinds of experiences. He told me he's doing research into homelessness by being homeless. I'm not sure how that looks like, but I sure wanted him here on the show. His messages were full, and so I resorted to text messages to get him. But he was going to be our guest, and we'll probably have him in the future. And Mike Victorino, I salute you for being a very gentleman mayor. You're getting out there in the field and looking over things. I think that played well, and I know that you have a very capable group of people out there doing your bidding. I've heard you say it, and I know it's so. You find people that you know and trust, that know what they're doing, and then you know and trust them, and that's where your decision comes from. A little different than our president, it seems, who hires advisors that he trusts or thinks he trusts, and then he doesn't listen to them. He makes his own decisions independent. That's a big confusion. But Mayor Victorino, I salute you, and look forward to having you back here on the show. You were here just before the election was run, and you were a terrific guest. I bet you have a lot to say about what it's like once you sit in the mayor's seat and how it's different than the council. And also we'd like to see how you feel you're doing in working with the council and what things you may need. I can tell you probably the loudest thing I hear when I ask people what they want me to talk about is housing and homelessness. Those are 2 separate things. They somehow overlap, but they're 2 separate things. The condition of homelessness is rampant. Although you can't sleep in your car, I can't number them, but I can tell you from driving in the evening between Laniapoko and Lahaina and Ma'alaya, I saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, many. It was like there were no openings in the way I was going, where there weren't people that were camped out and living and sleeping for the night, or in their cars sleeping for the night. So I always wonder whether the reporting is accurate, and I wonder whether some of the people that are in these positions are a little too isolated from being in the conditions of homeless, which is why I thought Metcalfe would be an interesting guest. I know people that are homeless, but I don't know anyone that's homeless that is running or will run again. And Jerry Metcalfe, he is a tiger. He is a fierce and interesting guy. I guess he developed friendship with a lot of people. His stories, he's like a who's who of stories of people on Maui in different levels, if you will, and positions that he shared with. And I thought he'd be an interesting guest for all of you to hear and all of you to see. I have had a real interesting couple of weeks. Maybe you can hear it in my voice. I still have a little bit of a laryngitis going on. Last week I had a wonderful guest in Susie Gastrain, who Susie is the it's funny to say hostess. She is the front desk person, handles the cameras going in and out, deals with all the guests that come into the studios here. She's really a very wonderful and lovely lady. And she was our guest last week. And both she and I, on Tuesday, independent of each other, I didn't know until I walked in today, both of us have been sick. It stopped me from being able to work the production for the last 3 days of the activity that was going on. And she just came back today. This has been a rough flu. I thought I was a canary in a coal mine. I didn't know that she was sick. Maybe we both got it from that same source. Excuse me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a song now. See if you can guess it. This is a long intro, and I thought it's such a beautiful piece. It stands by itself. So let's see if you know what it is. Let's see. You ready? Changes and you can establish a whole song. Now these players, you know them. This guitar player, many people know him for different kind of playing. You'll be able to tell here maybe in the next round. I remember years ago, when the guitar players were striving to play more intricate parts. Rock became hard rock, and the electric guitar, really, the Telecaster, I guess many people remember Bob Dylan was booed off stage when he brought on an electric guitar to play his acoustic set way back when. But now we've seen musicians use electric on acoustic all the time, and all kinds of things have evolved, and people would play more and more intricate parts of songs, more and more guitar players learning to play faster leads and much more intricate leads. We're going to go on a break for our station break here, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play you an example of that from one of the songs that I did. I had a guitar player who used to play with Iron Butterfly. I don't know if everyone knows that group. Some of you do. And he was just an extraordinary guitar player, David Doran. And we'll get to hear some of him. Let's take a break. We got a little bit early. We got a minute early, but I think it's a good time for a break for the station. I want to thank my sponsors, Kama Aina Loan, Cash for Gold, No Ko'ai Motors, David Bryan, my brother, Center for the Common Good he now has. I thought he would retire, but no, you can't stop someone who wants to keep doing good. He's been an inspiration for me. And some say I've been an inspiration for him. I don't think so, but it's been a wonderful. So let's take a station break here and see what's up. The Neutral Zone, with me, Jason Schwartz, would like to thank Maui Arts and Music Association, Dreammakers Foundation of Maui, for their support. Since 1991, with hundreds of television shows and their MauiArtsandMusic.com website, they have championed self-sustainability on Maui. The Neutral Zone is heard live Mondays at 11 a.m. and replayed Saturday at 7 a.m. on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. The Neutral Zone, with me, Jason Schwartz, would like to thank Maui Arts and Music Association, Dreammakers Foundation of Maui, for their support. Since 1991, with hundreds of television shows and their MauiArtsandMusic.com website, they have championed self-sustainability on Maui. The Neutral Zone is heard live Mondays at 11 a.m. and replayed Saturday at 7 a.m. on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui.
Phone Smarts for the 50-plus, a workshop presented by Akaku Maui Community Media and AARP. Come learn some of the basic features of your smartphone, ways to stay connected to family, friends, and your community. Join us August 29th for 2 sessions, 10 a.m. to noon for iPhone, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for Android, and bring your device. Only $5. Space is limited. Call Akaku at 871-5554 to get the link to register.
They'll challenge your authority, because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, and in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
This is your radio host, Miriam Laraway from Latino Connection. Connect with us and KAKU 88.5 every Friday at 12 p.m. and a replay on Saturday at 3 p.m. In this show, we explore the Latin community in Hawaii and every Latin country and their traditions, and also music from popular Latin music artists right here on KAKU 88.5, the voice of Maui.
Hi, I'm Jason Schwartz, host of The Neutral Zone. KAKU is a listener-supported station. This means that all of the great programs you hear, like mine, are sponsored by you as well as our underwriters. If you would like to help keep the voice of Maui talking loud and clear, go to kakufm.org/donate today and give. And don't miss The Neutral Zone Mondays at 11 a.m. on 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. We are back live. It's live if it's July 15th, and you're listening to this. This is live. Otherwise, we're either on tape You can find us at MauiNeutralZone.com. You can find us up on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook at KAKU-FM. We actually are on Facebook Live right now, and it'll obviously be up there. And we've put it on Akaku Maui Community Media. I still think of it as TV. And because we know that we are a low-power station, and we want to attract more people to know we're here. So we put it everywhere that we can. I have many things I can talk about. I wanted to talk about the homelessness thing. It is just getting a bit crazy. I know that we have limited resources, but I see just extremes going on. I mean, there are camps of homeless right on the main road where they have 5, 6, 10 shopping carts with a big tarp over the top with all their things that they break out in the evening to go and sleep, and then they put them there the next day, and then it's moved and people are moving them, and it's really something. I know that we have to get back on track. There's all kinds of rules and regulations. That's why I think that declaring an emergency might allow something to happen a bit more quickly. May not be permanently, but it sure would be quickly to try to find some solutions for now. And I'd also like to think that there would be potential work or something to give people an opportunity to be out and doing something, feel like they are somehow being productive. When I've spoken to some of the people that are out there that are homeless, it's hard to just be around and have nowhere. They figure they have nowhere that they can shower. They're not really welcome at the community pools, although some of them to go and use community pools and some of the facilities that are available. If they had more money, some of them are, buying memberships into gyms, but the gyms are also not interested in being a place to have homeless people just hanging out. So it's been a rough thing. I know that we could do more, and I'm sure that you're going to hear a lot of people talking about it. I keep looking at him over here. I look forward to having Jerry Metcalfe give us a little bit of his inside look. Some of the other people that are homeless have not wanted to be on the show. They didn't want to be a target. But I guess Metcalfe thinks he's already enough of a public figure that it goes off his chest like Superman. So he's very willing to open up his mouth and talk about things that may not be comfortable and people may not want to hear, but I think they need to hear, Just like when I was talking about that the guests aren't feeling aloha spirit at some of these restaurants and some of the facilities on the west side. I thought that is something that people on our island need to hear and know, and that the visitor industry needs to hear and know. They're kind of killing the cow over there. They're killing the calf that, or the goose that lays the golden eggs. It is one solid 2-lane road all the way up the Lahaina bypass, because there wasn't enough money, I guess, and they couldn't keep going at this point. It ends right at the Lahaina Cannery Mall. So all that traffic suddenly again goes onto a 2-lane road going north and south past hotel and hotel and hotel and timeshare and timeshare and timeshare and hotel. It's hard to find an open beach, and when you do find it, hard to find a place to park. So we really have to take a look at what we're doing. And we also need to really consciously develop industry that is not tourism. And we also have to consciously look at what's going on with the Hawaiian culture. And not only that, the Hawaiian kingdom. There's a whole level of activity going on that could well turn this back into the Kingdom of Hawaii. International law has been looking at this issue for a long time now, and I know that they've had numbers of things go on that we're going to bring a couple of people from the lawful Hawaiian government back on, and a show coming up. In fact, today, unrelated to the lawful Hawaiian government, but surely related to Hawaiians and all of us who care about Hawaiian culture, there's a major demonstration on the Big Island about Mauna Kea and a telescope that they're trying to bring in there, that these are sacred sites in Hawaiian history and Hawaiian culture. So Kale Koa is going to be on our show here in a few weeks, he was the gentleman who teaches Sam Ka'eo, who teaches at Maui College here, University, who was involved with the telescope issue here. A number of people were involved. I had a class I took over there about Hawaiian cultures, Hawaii Center of the Pacific, and it was really almost a blow-by-blow accounting of just how deceived and oppressed the Hawaiian people were in this illegal overthrow. So I don't know where the future will be, but I know no matter who is ruling here, and no matter whose land it is, this place has to be looked at to be self-sustainable and to be honoring of the cultures that we have here and the traditions that we have here. When I got here in 1988 and people said to me, it's already so developed, you should have been here before, I can now say that to people that are here now. You should have seen it before, when it was what I saw, which wasn't even really the basic Hawaii. I was here the year they started breaking ground for the Grand Wailea and the last few hotels there in Wailea. And now, the Maui Prince is gone, and that's all becoming land ownership by very wealthy people that have control of the land and very little access for the many people who live here. It is really a very sad thing that we weren't able to do something to stop some of that kind of development. But now that we're here, we sure can think about it for the future. We sure can see responsible development of ag lands, things that grow, things we need here, and start doing things that serve the local people. I think it should be no more, this is my opinion, no more building of luxury townhomes and luxury houses until we build our necessary affordable housing, both rentals and homes for purchase that are truly affordable. The people that develop and could build these things necessarily can easily choose more luxury because they make more money. But we could, I'm sure that there's been things talked about, but we could structure the laws to be able to encourage that massive development of places that are affordable. And we can explore building up as well as out so we can keep open space. There are lots of things that have been done all over the world, that are great examples for us to use, and I'm sure we can develop our own models and then share this all with the world. You know, people are coming here and have been coming here so many years. That was the basis when I formed the Maui Arts and Music Association, to promote the visual art and healing art and music of these islands and the cultures of these islands, and educate people about renewable energy and other environmental solutions, that we could be a self-sustainability model to the world. But we can't do it if we keep refocusing on tourism. A lot of people say you don't want to kill the tourism. We don't want to kill the tourism, not at all. But the tourists are recognizing that we're killing the tourism. Now, that's not too good. So we should take heed, and take heed right now. So I'm hoping that the people that need to hear this are hearing this. And if you think they're not, bring it to their attention. And please don't be afraid to stand up with all of us to voice that we want to see a beautiful, sustained Maui. We don't have to do it with anger. We don't have to do it with violence. We don't have to do it with sometimes the divisiveness that happens out of disagreement. We can do it out of love for each other and love for our island. I'm going to play some more music. Now, I told you I was going to play a song where David Doran from Iron Butterfly was featured, but I don't know if I see that here. But here's a song. This is a song written by Lono. Lono is on Molokai right now. He's been there for years. I think he's got 8 albums worth of material. This was a song he wrote way back when Jack Lewin was running for governor. That was a while ago. And the song is called Unlock the Hope. Listen to this. See if it's the right song for now also.
The time has come to make a change. The time has come to unlock the hope.
Wow, I stopped it accidentally. Let me start it again.
The time has come to make a change. The time has come to unlock the hope that lives in each and every one of us. And we must do our part. We hold the visions God dreams of. Our hands can heal the ones we love. Let's gather round and let us make a stand. For you and me, unlock the hope and there's a better life. Unlock the hope, there'll be no turning back. But nothing changes unless we unlock the hope. The time has come to make a change. The time has come to unlock the hope that lives in each and every one of us. And we must do our part. We hold the visions God dreams of. Our hands can heal the ones we love. Let's gather round and let us make a stand. For you and me, unlock the hope and there's a better life. Unlock the hope, there'll be no turning back. But nothing changes unless we unlock the hope. But nothing changes unless we unlock the hope. But nothing changes. Unless we unlock the hope. Unless we unlock the hope. the hope, unless we unlock the hope.
Unlock the hope. Nothing changes unless we unlock the hope. We gotta have hope. We gotta have heart. And I think we do have heart. And I think every time you see someone that needs help, help them. Don't point them down the street to some agency that will help them. Those agencies have plenty to do. And surely, I've spoken to people, these agencies are overburdened. They need more help to be able to help more. And, you know, with the times we live in, I think it's time to take it all very personally and all get up and do your own helping. Here's another song from Malono. This is, again, I want to say a Western song that he wrote a long time. From the time he was 19 till 24, he wrote about this song.
Living on the outside, breaking up inside, all because of the image we want them to see. She goes on dreaming, no commitments here. It's just the goodbyes, and it hurts through the night. From the morning that she said goodbye and then went on believing, inside was a lonely cry. This pain without the healing, she said, it's this that I miss, and I'll have no regrets, 'cause it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Yes, it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Sharing his sunshine, he watched the day go by. Still hidden inside, he couldn't say how he felt, and he cried for the first time as she went on her way. And letting her go was the price he would pay. From the morning that he said goodbye and then went on believing, inside was a lonely cry. This pain without the healing, she said, it's this that I miss, and I'll have no regrets, 'cause it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Yes, it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Yes, it's you that I'm falling in love with again. It's you. Morning that she said goodbye and then went on believing, inside was a lonely cry. This pain without the healing, she said, it's this that I miss, and I'll have no regrets, 'cause it's you that I'm falling in love with again. From the morning that he said goodbye and then went on believing, inside was a lonely cry. This pain without the healing, she said, it's this that I miss, and I'll have no regrets, 'cause it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Yes, it's you that I'm falling in love with again. Yes, it's you that I'm falling in love with again. It's you.
Boy, and that one, as well as the last one, were recorded in Renato Guasconi's studio in Kihei years ago. Again, that was me singing. The reason I'm playing these is because I have rights to them, and I want to be sure that I stay within the narrow guidelines for playing material that that we do have rights to and green light to. This next song, I swear, it was written in 1976 by me and a guy named Don Gear. And this was in Los Angeles. In fact, there's a long story that goes with this. But this song is a story in itself, and we hope to see it as a movie. Let's see what you think of this song. I hope you'll get back to us and give us some word.
When I lived out in the country, I used to dream of money and fame. So me and my girlfriend Margot came out to L.A. And while Margot was a waitress and I was a fixing cars, we kept it all together, pretending we were stars. Margot was in the movies and I was singing the rock and roll. We would go out by the highway to a make-believe place called Stardust Road, and we made believe it was spotlights from the cars passing on their way. The roar of the engines was our crowd as we got up on the stage. The trees are full of people calling for us to begin, and we played all night 'cause that highway crowd kept calling us back again. They would stand and call our names out loud and beg us not to leave. And if anyone could see, we gave them a memory to last forever.
I stopped that song. That's Stardust Road, and we can talk about that and what we want to do with that as a history. But my guest has shown up. I am so thankful to have him here. We'll have him for a full show. This is Tiger Metcalfe. Say hello to the audience. Your audience is there. You're the same audience, but we both have cameras here. Maybe they'll put you on in a second. If not, maybe I don't see you on screen. You can come around over this side with me and smile once for a second. Come on. Hi, everyone. We're going to come over here. Here we go. Now, do we see you there? See up there?
Oh, yeah.
That's us.
All right.
That's the wherever the camera is. It's somewhere looking at us.
All right.
This is Tiger Metcalfe. How are you?
Well,
you're a little late, but
a little late. Warren, I've been in Kona. I'm trying to make another acquisition to the Metcalfe family and to the estate. Looking at one of the other bars over there, and another nightclub that possibly making it like a kind of another ale house.
You gonna call it Jason's? That's not a good name for it.
I was thinking about maybe Kona Tristing place, but
how about Tigers?
we'll look at something in Kihei behind those ponds there in between. I think it's Safeway and Longs there. I'm going to reserve a spot in there. I think I'm going to put another one to try to duplicate the alehouse icon-ism that's been going on, and with the great belief that the people have of my management style, and that is fun and debauchery and good food. So,
well, I was letting everyone know that you do research different than anybody else. When you say homeless, you jump into the pit and you live it, so that you're what they call like George Plimpton. You get right in there. For those of you who don't know George Plimpton, they would call him the paper lion. He would go into different sports and different things and be playing right there with the big guys and take the hits and everything. How's it out there in the world? We got only 5 minutes, so we're going to...
First off, I'm going to congratulate the county council. I'm going to congratulate our great mayor right now, of Mr. Michael, and
Victorino,
and of course our past one, Mr. Alan Arkawa, for the belief in me and different things that are going on. I jumped in that park behind the university there, behind the abandoned condos, and I did some surveys. I've put together a pretty dynamic outline of how what it really is and what the people want, and that is some kind of a security system to lock up some stuff, especially the women. It's a first phase of giving security to sustainability to getting them out of the homeless operation. Some, I'm going to tell you right now, the stats say about 7-8% want to stay homeless, so we ain't going to change that. But the ones that do, it's just because of low social economic condition, and they need a chance. And they need some security in regards to do that. And the next phase would be into an automobile they can camp in or stay in. And next, of course, is a great job that Kelly King and our new housing director are doing regarding, and of course, Victor Reno, he's on it, okay? We've got to change this paradigm. We've got to get some housing going, and it means pull the plugs. As long as it's up to code, with our sewage and going potty and showering and being safe with a locked door and getting people safe and secure and stable. And that is the bottom line.
I think that's the camera. Let's see. Yeah, it is. That's it. If you want to smile at the people.
Hi, radio land. I don't know if we're on TV.
Well, we're on radio, TV. This is Tiger Metcalfe. A lot of people have heard your name and remember you when you were a candidate, but you're looking good. How you feeling? You all right?
I'm a little bit low on weight, only because I'm in the kayak business, the Hobie Mirage Systems, and I'll be franchising my operation with that. I got 10 new companies that have been in the works. Okay, I've got 2 of them are going to be nonprofit 501c. One will be a benefit support system that all the other agencies have get these services and different benefits to you. What I want to do is we're going to support those and back those up with grants and keep them going and giving more cash to the individual, because cash is what everybody's short of. In regards to, you can get your housing, you can get subsidies, but there's no cash. Even that, you got to come up with some money, and I look at deposits and stuff like that. Big thing, IDs. Come on, let's cut a program out here and get these IDs down to $20-$30, or maybe even free for the homeless. That's another thing. They go in these applications, they have no ID. We've got to lower that, maybe registration of the cars, maybe safety checks, different things. If we get these people into a stable environment, maybe a discount and subsidize on gasoline for working people and working women with these kids, and getting these kids and stuff like that in these nice preschool things, and getting the parents and mothers safe. They just all they want is safety, to be able to lock in at night from guys, from drugs. Drugs is not the big component out there. I found out there's drug addicts out there. We ain't gonna change that, but I am gonna change it because I'm after them. I'm on it. I've got a report gonna go out to the Maui Police Department of what and who and whatever. This is not narking or anything like that. There's some bad stuff that they're selling. There's some bad stuff that's going on. I look at the meth epidemic on it. Let's close it down. There's going to be social doing of drugs and pot and pakalo, but that's okay. I look at, we can change the paradigm and bring this way down. The addiction is not the big component. I look at it. It's just social economic and a lack of self-esteem. I'm a run on in 2020. And I'm going to announce to everybody the word hope. Hope.
We only have like 20 seconds left. You want to say goodbye? First of all, thank you for coming here.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We'll make some plans and have you.
I've got some plans. You're going to be able to read this on Jerome Metcalfe at gmail.com. Also, I'll be releasing in the paper a little headline of where you can go to find out some on these reports. I'm ready to print. I'm ready to edit some of them down. I'm ready to present it to the mayor, the county council. I've got a plan. Everybody. Okay.
Thank you all for joining us. This is a last minute thing. We're happy to have Jerry Metcalfe.
Thank you so much,
Tiger, and we'll have him again. Thank you all for joining us. And we will see you next week. And if you don't hear the credits, just know we love you. Aloha, everyone.
Look for big things in 2020.